Hit it, man.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Good God. Every day, inappropriate. This man over here gets sent to HR.
You guys just missed an awesome joke, man.
Well, awesome is, one way to put it. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Come on in. Let us know where you're tuning in from. And welcome to our show where we talk about personal and financial development. Each day we share our successful actions in life and business. And why are we qualified to talk about this stuff? Well, we have some experience in our life being in a relationship.
By experience living life?
Yeah, we've lived life, so we can be your guru. No, if you don't already know who we are, we're Martin and Chelsea Matthews. We're founders of M Wealth Group, a financial services agency, consulting, education, and we're also authors of this book, Let's Fight About Money. And we have, like a combined 25 years experience, I think it is.
It's 27 now.
27. I was doing the math and I thought it was, anyways, it's 20 something years combined experience. Okay. So we worked with a lot of clients. We have a lot of experience in making financial decisions together, building a business together. So we're here to share our successful actions with you. And today we're talking about how to monitor your financial health. That may be a term that you haven't really heard before, how to monitor your financial health. You go to your doctor, you monitor your physical health, you monitor maybe your mental health, you go to the gym and you monitor your body health, your fitness health. But there really is a technology to monitoring your financial health as well. And we're going to talk about that today.
Yeah. And if you're not tracking how well you're doing in each area, it becomes a mystery. And when something's a mystery, you have opportunities for mistakes. So it's like you're going to the gym and you have no idea how much weights you're going to be doing, what exercise you're going to do, how well it's performing, how well it's working. You should be a results-oriented person. So successful people know their numbers. They know their numbers and their targets and goals oriented. This is not new information. However, unsuccessful people know other people's numbers, meaning you know the numbers of the guy on your favorite sports team. You know their stats. You know this team stats. You know all this other stuff, but you don't know your own numbers. So you should flip that. Knowing your own numbers. And that's what we're going to talk about today. How do you monitor your financial health? Make sure you're in the best financial health possible. What are some of the things you need to understand and do so that you're constantly making your wealth go up? Wealth doesn't go up. I was laughing at somebody screaming, statin Peking. So your wealth doesn't go up accidentally. It goes up. Up automatically.
Everyone has a mystery.
Oh yeah, and everybody has a mystery. So Peking in Liberia, where I was born, means like little boy or young person, right? So that's what Peking means. So statin Peking. So anyway, so that's what it is.
All right. So talking about monitoring your financial health and knowing where you stand. And that's a really good point about the things that people do know where they stand. If you think about all the areas that you're successful in life, you probably know your numbers. You know where you stand. You know what you need to do. And some things maybe just seem to come naturally. Like people who are really fit and they go to the gym, they know what to eat. They know what exercises to do. They know how often. They know when they have maybe slacked off a little bit. They know when they're eating some of the wrong things, and they know how to get themselves back on track.
Yeah.
So with your finances, there's actually a way that you can do that. And if you have listened to us for any amount of time, you may have heard us talk about your financial house. And there are 6 building blocks that make up your financial house. And it's key, it's vital to know, first of all, what are those 6 building blocks? Where do you stand in each one of those building blocks? How well are you doing in those areas? And what do you need to do to either get on track or to accelerate your results to get to your financial goals? So we have a tool that we can actually monitor 12 areas of your finances, and all of those areas, they fit in some way or another into those 6 building blocks to help you see exactly where you stand, exactly what areas of your finances are healthy and what areas of your finances are at risk. You may go to the doctor and they're like, hey, your blood pressure is getting a little high. We need to do this, this, and this to bring it down. And so you put in those actions, your blood pressure goes down, your health increases. Same thing with your finances. Being able to identify, hey, maybe you don't have enough money in reserves and you're at risk that if something happens to you or your business or your income, you're screwed. And so it's important to be able to see, okay, I need to increase my reserves. How much do I need to increase my reserves? And by what time? Or maybe you're concerned about your debt and you're like, oh my God, I have so much debt. I don't know how I'm going to handle this. And it affects your overall well-being because you're so concerned about this debt. But maybe when you look at your overall picture, you're like, hey, my cash flow is strong. I'm handling my debt. And also the debt that I have is helping me to earn more income because it's either in cash flowing investments or it's maybe had to do with investments and growing your business. So that you can actually change your overall well-being based on understanding how these pieces fit together and how you're going to handle them.
So let us know in comments, do you monitor your financial health? Do you check to see how things are coming financially? Do you have a method to do that? And the reason all of this is extremely important is if you don't measure something, how do you know where you're at? How do you know if you're doing better this year compared to last year? Here's the other thing tracking your financial health allows you to do. How do you know you couldn't be doing a whole lot better? Because I know a lot of people are like, oh, I'm doing good. Compared to what? Compared to what? So like, how do you know that you couldn't be doing great? You're doing good because you made a little bit more. How do you know you couldn't be doing great? How do you know what the gaps are in your finances if you don't track some of the different things? So what's happening is most people are largely guessing. Finances for most people is largely guesswork. So they guess about things. I guess I need this much money. I guess I need this much in reserves. I guess I need this much capital. I guess I need this. But it's not targeted. It's not targeted and it's not stated as exact goals and specific targets so that you monitor how well you're doing in those areas. If you don't monitor it, you have a mystery. I said earlier, you have a mystery and then you don't get the results that you're looking for. A lot of people don't get the financial results they're looking for just because they don't even know their money. They don't know how much money to make. There's people who don't know how much money to make?
A lot of people at all income levels. They come to us and we start out with, okay, what's coming in? What's going out? How much is left over? And what are you doing with it? Very, very, very simple questions, but I could tell you the majority of people don't exactly know. And so it actually takes plugging these numbers in, being able to monitor, just like a doctor will take your blood pressure and they will get numbers and they will see. We have a tool that you can actually put in all of your financial pieces and you can see, you get a scorecard in each of your areas and it will tell you exactly what your blood pressure is of your cash flow and how your debt is being handled compared to your overall financial house and your overall goals.
Yeah, so we did this with a client yesterday, went through their scorecard, looking at all the different areas, and then it could see exactly what needed to be done. So not only did we map out like what are the goals, what is their financial purpose, their goals, everything, but we went and tracked exact next steps. And then that person sent us a picture of some of the targets that they've been trying to reach. And they're like, oh my goodness, thank you so much for helping me to go and reach these targets. And so everything should be predictable when it comes to your money and finances. It should not be haphazard, up and down and scattered and dispersed and all over the place. It should be well organized. It should be predictable. You should know what's there. What are the next steps? What are the things you need to do? Very, very predictable in terms of what are the steps you're going to take to handle the next pieces. So monitoring your stuff is extremely important. Knowing the scorecard, knowing a specific area. Like, do you have enough liquidity, for example? Do you have enough liquidity to service you if something comes up? If you have a real estate target, a lot of times people start out very vague, like, I want to buy real estate. Great. What type of real estate? Where? What's your target rate of return? How long are you going to hold the real estate for? Are you going to do it on your own or are you going to do it with partners? And then are you going to do it in regular areas or are you going to do it in an opportunity zone? Are you going to flip or are you going to hold? Are you going to do single family, multifamily? Are you going to do affordable housing? Are you going to do self-storage? Like, you have to like break it down to know, okay, so when people work with us and they start with the vague, everybody starts with vague stuff. I want to get into real estate. I want to do this more. I want to have more free time. I want to make more money. It all starts vague. And then they come and work with us and we're like, okay, so now let's put some numbers to the shit. What type of real estate? And we built them out in investment criteria so they know exactly for the real estate portfolio, what type of real estate, what's my target rate of return, all these different things. So that way, if somebody brings them a deal that's not the target rate of return, they're like, hey, you know what? Thanks for bringing me this deal. I need this rate of return to meet my targets. So either the deal's going to come back at that return that I'm looking for, or I can't do the deal. Very simple, clear targets so they know exactly what their game plan is.
So over the years, with our experience in the financial industry, we've seen a lot of problems in the industry and a lot of problems that clients come to us wanting to solve. And then us as business owners, things that we have looked to solve over the years as well. Mm-hmm. And so we've built programs and services to solve these problems. And typically, you may have experienced this. If you need a certain particular financial service or product, maybe you need life insurance. So you go find a life insurance agent. And then maybe they can sell a certain type of life insurance, but not another type of life insurance. So they sell you on the type of life insurance they can sell or that they understand. And then you need your taxes done. And so you go to your CPA and then you didn't have planning throughout the year. And so they're like, oh, now you have this tax bill. So you could do this, this, and this, which may not be ideal, may not be something you actually want to do, but you're trying to solve your tax bill and get your tax bill down. So you do this. And then maybe you have somebody that helps you with budgeting and is telling you what things you need to spend on or what things you don't need to spend on. And then your accountant or your CPA is telling you need to do this. And the person is saying, no, you need to do this. And then your insurance person says, no, you should do this. And it's like all these experts, financial experts that can't even get on the same page and agree with the same thing. So
this is what we call a clusterfuck.
Yeah. So it just causes confusion and you don't know what the right thing to do is. So in all of these things that we've seen, and as we've handled these things in our own lives and our own business, and also searching to look for, we have never wanted to give just the typical financial advice that most people get. You go online, you hear somebody saying, everyone should be doing this. You should be debt free. Everyone should have a retirement account. You should do this. You shouldn't do this. But nobody stops to look at your specific financial situation and your specific financial goals. Yeah. Maybe you don't want to retire. Maybe you don't want to have like a specific amount that you live on at 65. Maybe you want to invest in real estate and have cash flowing,
not when you're 80.
And passive income that you can pass on to the next generation. Well, a typical insurance agent is not going to be able to help you to do that. A real estate agent is not going to be able to help you, build out and plan your generational wealth. They can help you buy and sell a property. And nothing is wrong with all of these people. But what we have done is we have built a network.
A system
where we can monitor all of your financial goals, your whole financial picture, what kind of life you want to create. And then we can see exactly where you are in all of these areas. What are you working with? Then we know how to build your blueprint of what steps need to be done when. Because if you're trying to invest, if you're trying to set up a trust to protect your assets and you don't have assets, well, first we need to help. Okay, let's build some assets. Okay. If you want to handle your taxes and your business is bleeding and spending more than it's bringing in, you don't have a tax problem. You need maybe
you have an income, you have a making money problem.
You need business consulting to be able to get the things in order in your business so you can increase your income so you do have a tax problem to deal with. Yeah. So it's understanding where you are and what problems you need to be focusing on. So you're not trying to solve problems you don't have and ignoring the problems you do have. Yeah. And so it's very important to have somebody in your corner on your team that can look at all of these areas and how they play with each other so that it's complementing, not contradicting and causing confusion.
Yeah. And if you guys want help with this, send us a DM. There's a program we have where we go over all of this with our clients, help you map out all the things we're talking about here. We can help you do all of that. So there's one called our Wealth Kickstart. So that's a program you can actually go to 6buildingblocks.com/kickstart, or you can check out a link in bio and it says, check out my Wealth Kickstart. You can check that out and you can see what that's all about. You can watch a video on there and it talks about all the different things, especially if you're a business owner. That one's very key. Somebody asked here, how can someone who makes $80K a year benefit from a good life insurance at 33 years old? So here's the thing. A lot of times when we're asked this question, sometimes a person, I'm not saying that to you in that case, Darnell, but a lot of times the person could want a simple, easy answer. How can somebody who makes $80K a year benefit from good life insurance policy?
Most answers are, that depends.
Yes. And the answer that most people don't like to hear is, it fucking depends. What does it depend on? It depends on, do you make 80,000 and do you spend 100? Because there's people who make 80 grand and spend 90. So then
or do you make 80K before taxes or after taxes?
Yeah. And do you have how much cash flow do you have left over? How much money can a person put away? And do they have people who depend on them? All these factors, right?
What are you trying to solve? Do you just want life insurance that's going to cover your family? Or do you want to build cash and build generational wealth that you can use to grow and expand over time? Yeah,
so Darnell, we do consult with people. We do most of our stuff where we work with people on implementation, because for you guys to understand, here's our business. Our business is not very complex. It's a very simple business. We use social media to share concepts and strategies that people could resonate with. And we share about what we do. We'll use life insurance to become our own bank. We love private real estate deals. We like mobile home parks, different things. And we run several businesses. We have a partnership consulting business, all these different things, right? So we're business owners. And so what we do is we have different ways, and we're licensed. So we're not just people who come on social media and give our opinions. We're licensed to actually implement.
We're licensed gurus. No, I'm just kidding.
I hate the word guru. But we're meaning guru. I like the traditional, like a guru who was like a spiritual guide. Yeah. But not like the guru with the social media shit.
Hey, by myself.
So it's like, I have a business, I've got employees, I've got an office, all these different things, all this different stuff, right? So I have to do the same expenses, payroll, taxes, all these different things I also have to deal with myself. So understand that we approach this as business people. So if you're a business person and you want to work with somebody, or you're a high achiever and work with people who understand where you're at and where you're trying to go, then send us a DM and we will work on how we can do different things with you. Now, as far as like the different stuff that we have, one of the things when people work with us, we help them implement things. Because a video will never help you implement something. A video can only teach you something. You can't ask the video questions. You can't ask the video, does this apply to my specific situation based on where I'm at, right? So you can't ask the video that. So you can watch a million YouTube videos, but what you need is somebody, like Chelsea said, somebody in your corner that helps you actually implement the shit and then keep track of how well it's doing, how well your game plan is doing. A video can't do that. YouTube, you can watch a million YouTube videos. Unless you actually move to implementation, nothing happens. So to answer the question is, it really does depend on your financial position, what your goals are, what you're trying to do, how much capital you have. Even also, number one thing we look for, what habits do you have? What habits do you have? We don't take on clients if the person has bad financial habits. You need to we can work with you handling your financial habits, but we don't invest. We don't help them invest.
And we have a whole educational platform that can help you to increase and improve your financial habits if that's where you're at.
Yeah, so we can help you with that. I'm talking about like people like, hey, I want to invest this money with you guys. Like we had a guy makes, at one point he was making up to $2 million a year. He spent everything, never saved a penny. He just blew all his fucking money every year. And then his thing to me was, I want to give you some money to invest. And then I'm going to come back to some point throughout the year. I'm going to ask you for the money. I want you to smack my hand and tell me no. I'm like, dude, what the fuck do I look like? I'm not your babysitter. Why would you give me money? First of all, it's not even legal for me to tell you, no, you can't have your money. So it's like, you're gonna invest the money and then I'm gonna smack your hand and tell you, no, you can't have the money. That's weird. So I'm like, okay, you need to do these other things first before we get you to this point. So sometimes we need to do things in the beginning before you get to the stage of where you are investing in assets. The very first thing you invest in is your knowledge in yourself. I know it sounds cliche as fuck. Invest in yourself. Everybody says it. But literally, the reason you do that is because you can't make decisions without knowledge. You're not going to be able to make decisions confidently because you don't have enough knowledge on the subject. So when you invest in learning, putting things up here, nobody can steal that from you. Nobody can rob you. You're able to think better. Once you increase your knowledge, you can then take more responsibility and have more control. Because ultimately, what do you want in your finances? You want control. You don't want to be handing off control to someone else. You don't want to hand over control to the government or anybody else. You want to have as much control as possible. And in order to do that, you need to have the correct knowledge. And so that's why people invest in themselves. And so if you want help in those areas, send us a message. We'll help you map out a plan as to what's the right type of insurance for you if that's the question that you have. And all these other things would help you do that. So send us a DM. We're happy to help you with those things and put that into place. We'll do a call with you and help you put those things into place. And we have different ways we can do that.
Yeah, and the program that Martin mentioned earlier is really our entry-level program. It's called the Wealth Kickstart. You can learn more about it at sixbuildingblocks.com/kickstart, sixbuildingblocks.com/kickstart. And then we also have an elite program for people who are at another level. The Wealth Kickstart is really monitoring your financial health, getting a roadmap and getting these actions in place. And then we have a Wealth Accelerator program for someone who already has a lot of things in place. We still do the financial monitoring, but they need things at a higher level, like they're looking to invest outside of their business. They've got tax issues that they need to handle. Also, they can have access to our network of all of our different partners, investors, people looking to invest in investments, and also people with investment opportunities. Also becoming accredited investor, and really mapping out all of those things. So we have programs based on where you are to help you get to the next level, because there's always another level. There's always things that you can tighten up, adjust, grow, expand, and we're here to help you to do that.
Yeah, and then lastly, the reason we put these things together is because you need somebody in your corner that's helping you throughout the year. The way traditional advice or traditional financial planning is done, and it's been done this way for a long time, to me seems very backwards and in many ways very stupid. So you meet with a planner or an advisor once a year or once every 2 years. How much do you actually learn in that one meeting? You learn very little. It's when you go to see the doctor for your annual checkup, how much do you really learn about health overall? You may learn that, okay, everything's in good condition. Okay, I don't need to do anything. All right, I'll see you in another 2 years. I mean, so you don't really learn. So you don't really actually end up taking control over your overall finances. But when you have things that are ongoing, which is why we have like Zoom meetings where we discuss things in detail. We have Zoom meetings where we do Q&A for people in our programs, where we discuss what's happening in the economy, how will the debt ceiling impact Social Security, all these different things. We talk about that in great detail on our Zoom call for our clients, because they have a certain level of understanding now on how to look at things. So those are all things that they're doing. Whenever they want to be connected, like for example, somebody asked me the other day, how can I buy gold and silver in my retirement account? I want to hold actual gold and silver in my retirement account. And that was the question that was on their mind. Well, there's a way to do that. You follow the rules. There's a very specific way to do it. And that's the thing. They're wanting to use their retirement account for gold and silver. So I'm like, oh yeah, we'll show you exactly how to do that. But that was something very specific to that person. But then other people will have that question. So then hop on a Zoom where we do Q&A sessions, and we share that with the rest of the members inside of our programs and different things. So people are continually learning about different strategies, different tax strategies, different investment strategies, different real estate strategies, different loan programs that's coming out. All of these are different things we go over in some of the different things we do, so that it's ongoing, not once a year, once every 2 years where you talk to a financial person and then that's it. So if you want something like that so that you don't have mysteries in your finances, and you want to track everything, make sure things are running well, and have somebody help you to oversee all that stuff, send us a message. We'll be happy to help you. We'll talk to you about where you are and then what things we have that could be helpful for you.
And if you want to check out our Wealth Kickstart program, go to sixbuildingblocks.com/kickstart.
All right.
Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
All right.
Great job.
Good job. Woo.